When I first saw this video, I figured that a lot of people were going to respond to it, and I saw a lot of people responding to it. I saw LGBT people responding to it, saying, hey, this is a problem. And I think that's important. I think that as many LGBT people as can should come out and say, this isn't okay. This isn't what we're all about. And this isn't something that we stand for. Because right now, ordinary people are hearing this and thinking that this is what all LGBT people are like. Like, oh, we all just united into one great uniform group of people and we all believe this crap, and we don't. We don't approve of this at all. There are some people who do. I think there are a lot of people who are just being sheep, and then there's the rest of us who are just shaking our heads and going, what the hell, you guys? What the hell? Leave the kids alone, you know? And I didn't know how to really express what I was thinking. And I think now that it's like late at night and everybody's in bed and I have a bit of time to think, I think I figured it out. I was very fortunate growing up. I was hanging out with all the gay kids at my school when I finally started developing same-sex attractions. I met a lesbian that was very pretty and very charming. She wasn't that pretty. She was very charming. And, it wasn't a problem for me because I ended up hanging out with the gay kids and it was like, okay, these are just normal people. So there wasn't that moment of soul searching and, oh my god, am I really gay? Am I really bisexual? It was just one of those things like, oh, I guess I am. Okay, cool. I hope this doesn't hurt my dating opportunities with men further on down the road, because I might want to pursue that more, but then it turns out that men are turned on by that sort of thing, so hey, win-win, right? I did not have to experience much of the stigma around being gay. But I saw it in the world around me as I was growing up. I saw my cousin who came out as gay when I was still relatively young. And I remember the family whispering about it and the scandal of it. Even though I couldn't really see what it was about him being gay that was so scandalous. And I remember my mom making some less than respectful comments about her uncle, my great uncle, even though he was her favorite uncle, and he was very accepting of her, even though she was kind of quirky and she didn't get along with everybody else in the family. He was gay, and she liked him, and she told me good stories about him. She was always very fond of him, but she was always really weirded out by the fact that he was gay. And I didn't understand why Mom was weirded out by homosexuality. She was weirded out when I told her I was bisexual. It just weirded her out, and I never understood why. And at that point, I was so distanced from my parents that it was like, I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you don't like it. I really just don't care what you guys think. I had a lot of rough things happen to me in my childhood that my parents weren't there to support me for, and so by the time that became an issue, it was like, I just didn't care what they thought. I remember my cousin settled into a long-term relationship with another man, and they ended up having kids together, actually. And at one point, my cousin's partner showed up at his workplace to see him for some reason or another and got turned away past, he couldn't get past security because they weren't legally married. But they couldn't get legally married. And so my cousin had to address that with his workplace so that his partner could come and see him at work the way everybody else's spouses could. I remember one of my friends at school had a mother who was in a lesbian relationship, and I remember I would go over to her house to play and to do like group homework assignments and stuff, and my mom was weirded out by that. She was like, if they ever do anything inappropriate, I want you to tell me right away. And I didn't understand why she was so weirded out by that girl's parents, but not all the other little girls' parents. I didn't understand why there was a stereotype of gay people being. The world that I grew up in was not particularly adverse to gay people because I was surrounded by a lot of very kind, very supportive gay people. And that's just the group I fell into at my high school. I was very fortunate. But I saw the way the laws were shaped. I saw the way people acted and reacted, and it wasn't particularly positive. I don't think people realize how much time and energy, how many years of slowly, carefully built up and accumulated moments of goodwill. They're just flushing down the toilet. How many good, normal, healthy, functional gay people throughout years, decades, have slowly, through their good example, established for the rest of the world that you can be a normal, functional person and be gay or transgender. How many of those people, over the course of a lifetime, being called names, being mistreated, being subtly and sometimes overtly socially snubbed, and always maintaining a certain degree of dignity despite that, how many of those people have you just laughed in the faces of? You know, how many times did they have to sit themselves down and say, you know, you just got to be the bigger person on this one? And just what do you think they would think right now if they could see this? I didn't have to fight those battles. You know, growing up, I really did not have to fight those battles. I was geared up for a battle when I told my mom that I wanted to date a girl. She was not happy because gay people weirded her out, and I just didn't care. I already had plenty of support. I had a pretty clear idea what I wanted. I didn't get to date that girl, but there were other girls. I didn't have to fight. And I didn't have to fight because so many people who came before me paved the road for me to live a very easy life. And I see all of that just being eroded away. And I'm not worried for me because I'm very well hidden. I'm safely camouflaged. I'm going to be fine. But there's a lot of people who aren't safely camouflaged. Some of those people are really, really good people. And they can't hide or camouflage or just disappear into the woodwork. And they're good people. They don't deserve this shit.